All right. Good morning, everyone. I think I'm live. I'm not entirely sure. I think I'm live. Welcome, everyone, to your first ThoughtFarmer Features Spotlight webinar. Um, you may have noticed we are celebrating May the 4th here at ThoughtFarmer today as well. We got a fun little icebreaker question up on the screen, hopefully for you. So if you just joined, feel free to say hello in the chat, the Zoom chat, and if you would humor us and answer our icebreaker question, we'd love to know what Star Wars character you would be if you had the choice and why. Um, so feel free to post that in the chat. I'll go first. I'll just say it. I won't post it in the chat, but I definitely would go 100% cute Star Wars character. I'm thinking Grogu, like the little guy on the screen, of course, Baby Yoda, or those porgs from one of the previous Star Wars movies. Oh, Alina just mentioned that the chat is disabled. That is not something we want. Ian, are you able to? Oh, hold on. I'm turning it on right now. I'm so sorry. The chat was only enabled for hosts, but it's live now. Alina, thank you for letting me know. It's live now. You should be able to post a chat. There we go. When you post the chat, or your Star Wars character, make sure to select everyone so that it goes to the entire webinar universe here today. Jasper, I'm expecting you to share your Star Wars character too. All right, so if we have people who just joined us, we're going to give everybody a few minutes to log on, to grab a coffee, to get settled in. And while we do that, we'd love it if you would consider our icebreaker question and post in the chat which Star Wars character you would be if you were a member of the Star Wars universe and why. And I mentioned that earlier there. I would be Baby Yoda or Pork, or I think they are like this weird hybrid between a penguin and a guinea pig, I think. But they're very, very cute and they make cute sounds. Or even one of those little teddy bear creatures. I don't know what they're called, but I would go full on Star Wars cute rather than, going for a Darth Maul or Darth Vader vibe. All right. So just a few more minutes. We're going to get started, I think probably 9 Pacific and a few minutes, just so that people have a chance to log on before we get the show started. And Nikki says she would be Obi-Wan or Padme. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and then she goes, but I know I'd be Anakin. Oh, Nikki. Anakin's pretty awesome too, at least for some part. And yes, the teddy bear things are called Ewoks. Thank you. And Alina has not watched Star Wars. I'm not proud of this. Actually, you know what, Alina? I've watched only, I think, 2 or 3 of the movies. I definitely haven't watched all of them, and I get attacked for that fact very often. So I empathize with you. Thank you, Patricia. Patricia was just commenting on the GIF that's on the slide. And yes, actually, I don't apologize for it. It's May the 4th. We're going full on Star Wars with this presentation today. I haven't shown this deck to our brand owner here at ThoughtFarmer because I'm not sure if he would be happy with me putting little Grogu gifts all over the place. So yeah, but we're just gonna do it. So watch out for this little guy here. There may be a few other slides where he shows up, makes a little bit of an appearance. All right. So just like let's give it one more minute before we get started. I do see we have quite a few people signed on, but it is just 9 o'clock Pacific, so we might get a few more guests in here. And if you just joined, I'll do my spiel again. This is our little icebreaker question for the day. We are embracing May the 4th here, and we'd love to know which Star Wars character you would be and why. So if you'd like to share that, you can do so in the webinar chat, which is there's just like a text bubble icon um, on your Zoom toolbar that will give you that. Great, Nikki. Nikki says, I'm going to post this on our shout outs on our intranet right now. Thanks for the idea. I love it. I love it. Erica, the Mandalorian. Yes. Yeah. Fairly new addition to the Star Wars universe. I love the Mandalorian, of course. I've started watching it mainly for Baby Yoda. I'm not going to lie, but it did pull me in. And Deb says she'd go for an R2D2 specifically when he screams. Yeah. I like it. And Patricia is Padme because she has a crush on Anakin. I love it. Young Anakin was quite handsome. Yeah, he was quite handsome. That's one of the movies I saw. I forget the name of the movie, but where he's young and he does the racing and then he works with Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think. Yeah. All right. It's a 9:01 here in Vancouver. I think we should probably get started. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for your Star Wars stories. And thanks for joining us for our inaugural feature spotlight webinar here at ThoughtFarmer. We're going to be talking about administrator roles today. It's a feature that we just rolled out a few weeks ago. And before we get started, just wanted to let you know we will be recording the webinar here today. And we'll share that recording in the next few days on our ThoughtFarmer community site. So look out for an email from us in the next few days with a link to that. If you want to rewatch it or if you want to share with others at your organization, you can definitely do that. Questions and answers. Definitely would welcome any questions that you guys may have today, right? So there is in your Zoom toolbar, there is a Q&A link or a Q&A functionality. So if you have any questions at any time, please post them in the Q&A section. We have Alina and Jasper, two of our customer success managers behind the scene here today as well. So they will be helping you with any questions throughout the webinar. And of course, we have the agenda up here as well. At the end of the presentation, we'll definitely have time for questions and answers. All right, so we're going to talk about administrator roles today. I'm going to start just like explaining a little bit about the feature and why we have built it. And then we're going to dive into a live demo. I'll show you on one of our demo sites how you can enable it, how it works. And then we'll end with some Q&A and discussion. I would say definitely try to stick around until the end today. We have a little bonus, a little piece of bonus content at the end, just a question that we wanted to run by you. So that'll be sort of near the end of the demo and the presentation today. All right, administrator roles, starting with the pain. It's not fun, but we just wanted to kind of give it some context, right? Like, why are we changing the way that we do administrators in ThoughtFarmer? And we really built this change based on feedback that we heard from you, from our customers, right? There's a couple of things that that came with the previous way admin roles were, or not admin roles, but admin was set up in ThoughtFarmer that caused a few challenges. The first one is wide access to sensitive information, right? Previously, with only one level of administrator access, the result was often that a lot of you guys have many staff with access to admin rights and therefore access to all of the information, all of the content on your site, which is not always desirable. There might be certain content that's more sensitive that shouldn't be viewable by, dozens of people sometimes. Security risks, right? Like if you have many administrators with access to everything in the software, all the buttons and dials and knobs, that sometimes would increase the risk of perhaps unauthorized access, maybe other security incidents, right? And that's something that we definitely want to avoid. And thirdly, lack of accountability, right? With many administrators have access to everything, you have a lot of cooks in the kitchen, and it can be hard to keep track of who is doing what on the admin panel or to the content, right? Who does which task? So all of that was a big challenge that we heard from you guys, and it made us rethink administrators in ThoughtFarmer and build these administrator roles. And how did we make it better with these administrative roles? Like, first of all, we wanted to improve the security, right? With these new roles, you can actually control who much more, much more on a flexible way, who has access to that sensitive information, right? You can really control who are your content administrators versus people who have to do a very specific admin task, like, access the user management panel, something like that. So it can be a lot more granular, which will improve the security around sensitive information. It also allows you to streamline your workflows, right? You can have different people accessing different areas of the admin panel, which is, just a more efficient way to distribute tasks and to have your workflow set up. It also avoids people doing the same thing and duplicating their efforts. And lastly, with the administrator roles, actually allows you to scale up your internet management quite easily, right? You may have growth in your organization that increases the complexity of your internet, has the need for more staff helping out with administrating the internet, right? Having those roles can help you manage that perhaps added complexity that happens on the internet and on the management of the internet. So good news. Administrator roles is going to make all of this better, right? And so next up, I just quickly wanted to show you guys how it works. And I'm going to do that on one of my demo sites here, which I have up in this window here. I'm logged in here as Marcella Gibbons. She is a what we call a super administrator in this new admin role world. So a super administrator it's pretty much somebody who has all of the administrator rights that the previous admin role in ThoughtFarmer had, right? Something that you're all familiar with. Super administrators have access to all the content on the site, to everything in the admin panel, to everything in the forms feature. So I'll show you where you can find the new admin roles by logging into my admin panel, and you'll see a new option here under users and security. I'm going to click that, and then this is the new admin role screen. You'll see that there are 3 admin roles that have already been set up, right? And if you log onto your internet right now and take a look at it, you'll see the same 3 ones. The first one is that super admin role. It's exactly the current or the previous administrator setup, access to all the admin functions, all of the site content, and all of the forms. And then we added 2 more. We have a content admin role, which is somebody who still has access to all the content on the site, and access to the admin panel, but only the admin panel features that really relate to managing content, right? So if I go and hover over this and edit this role, which is something you can do as well, you'll see that this content admin role has access to everything in the admin panel that relates to the user interface, the content, some of the notifications, but everything that has to do with security groups and users is turned off for this user, right? So this admin role is really intended for people that are actively managing content, not so much the IT or the authentication side of things, which is this IT admin role. So this IT admin role has access to the admin panel, has access to everything under users and security and some of the other integrations, but does not have access, as we can see here, to view and edit all of the content or access to anything that has to do with forms. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how these different roles can be very flexible and very, very focused on a specific task, right? Note that the content admin and IT admin role are something that you can edit as well. If you wanted to disable or enable other functions in the admin panel, you can just edit that admin role and customize as needed. So I'll go and add another role here because we have these three, but you can add your own custom admin roles as well. And there might be many scenarios for creating your own one. The one I'm going to use today is I'm going to set up a role for my theme admins. So these are maybe this is somebody from my design or creative team. I want to give them access to change the colors of the theme. Maybe I want to give them access to upload a new seasonal logo or switch between, the summer theme and the Christmas theme or something like that, right? Really, this person doesn't have to have any other access. They definitely don't need to see all of the content or the forms. And in the admin panel, right, I'm going to allow this role to access the admin panel. I'm really only going to select the theme option here, as well as maybe cards and content templates, because I might want them to take a look at where the different cards are laid out on the group templates and things like that. So I'm really only going to give them access to these three options, and then I'm going to click on save. So we can see here now my new theme admin role is showing up, and now I can assign this admin role to different people. So if I click on add users here, I'll give myself access. Maybe I'll give Ian access as well. And Alina, right? My design team. Click on add and save. And now I can see these three people are showing up as theme admins. Now, of course, once you open up your administrator roles page, you'll see that all of your current administrators have just been made a super admin. You can, of course, edit those users, remove anyone who doesn't need to be a super admin from this list, and then add them to be a content admin, an IT admin, or anything else, an HR admin, or whatever other roles you set up. You can also assign admin roles through the user management page, right? So if we go into my admin panel, and I open up the user management page here, I can go in here into any profile. So let's say Elijah currently doesn't have admin access, but I do want to make him a theme admin. I can click on this gear icon and edit his account. And then you can see this checkbox here has always been here, allow this user to administrate the intranet. But now when I click that, I have the option to select one or more admin roles. So I could make him an IT admin and maybe a theme admin if I wanted to, or just an IT admin. Click on save, and now Elijah has been added to those admin roles. Great. So that's all been set up here now. What I'm going to do is I'm just quickly going to switch to another window, and I'm going to log in as a different person. So this is the same intranet, but instead of Marcella Gibbons, I'm now logged in as myself, right? I'm going to do a quick refresh. And if I open up my profile menu here, you'll see I do have access to the admin panel. But when I click on it, I really only see theme cards and content templates, because remember, Marcella set me up as a theme admin, right? So I can go in here, I can make any changes to the look and feel of the site, but I can't touch any other administrative functions, nor can I see all the content on the site, right? I can still only see those pages where I've been actively added as an editor or a viewer. Simple as that. All right. So quickly going to go back to my presentation here. Whoops. Let me try that again. There we go. So that was a live demo. If you have any questions, I haven't been watching the Q&A section, but hopefully the ThoughtFarmer staff in the behind the scenes are answering any questions that are being posted. I just wanted to quickly share a few things that are good to know before you start using admin roles. First off, this feature or this change is available only to our cloud customers, right? You may have seen the notifications about our plans to sunset our on-premises solution. And as part of that, the features that we are developing from now on will only be available to our cloud customers and be rolled out automatically there. So if you are an on-premises customer and you like what you see today, feel free to reach out to your customer success manager or your account executive, and they will be happy to share more information on what would be needed or what the next steps are to move to cloud. Secondly, I mentioned this before, but all of your administrators upon the upgrade have been automatically changed to super administrators, right? So nobody's lost their admin access, but they are still all super admin. So if you wanted to change that, you can go into the admin panel, find that admin roles page and adjust their access to a different role if needed. And then thirdly, there are some pieces of functionality in ThoughtFarmer that are still only available for super admins and not the other admin roles. And I'm thinking, for example, of the admin pages where you decide which users have access to post broadcasts or set up pages with required reading and things like that. So we do have ways around that using our security groups. So if you do find yourself wanting to set up broadcast or required reading access to a different group, not just your super admins, just let us know. Contact us on our help desk or reach out to your CSM and we can let you know how to do that. Excellent. What do I need to do to get access? Absolutely nothing. You just need to log on to your ThoughtFarmer intranet and it's all there, ready to go. That again is if you are a ThoughtFarmer Cloud customer. Of course, we've upgraded everyone to the latest version, ThoughtFarmer 11, that has these new admin roles. So it's ready for you to start using. And yeah, let us know what you think as always, right? Like we really want to know, this feature, like I said, it was built very specifically based on feedback that we heard from you guys, from our customers, and we love that kind of feedback, right? So please start using it. Let us know what you think. Are there things that you wish you could change in this new feature? Are there things missing that you wish you could do? Just let us know in any way possible, right? You can open a help desk ticket. You can phone or email your customer success manager. You can contact me. We really want to know how you feel about this new change and if it provides value and resolve some of those challenges that you previously would have had. All right, here's our little piece of bonus content. This is an idea that we had internally. We've been talking about it quite a bit, is whether it would be a good idea for us to organize sort of like more conversational sessions for our customers between us and you guys, right? And the idea came from one of our conferences. We Thought Summit. It was an in-person conference that we organized for our customers all the way up until the pandemic hit. And one of the most popular sessions during that conference was these little breakout roundtable conversations that we did around different topics, right? So we have little roundtables, literally, and each table would have a conversation topic attached to it. It would go from, how to get your staff to adopt this new intranet, right? How to go about change management, or another one would be about how to best set up the navigation of your intranet, how to organize your content, how to keep your content fresh, right? All of these different topics related to intranets, to internal communication, to employee engagement. They were very, very popular. And while we're not doing a full conference, we kind of think about replicating this these conversations in a virtual way, perhaps with virtual roundtable webinar series. So we'd really want to know if you would be interested in if we organize this, would you be interested in attending? So I just launched a poll. I think hopefully it came through in Zoom, and just click away if this is something you would be interested in. We'd love to know, right? The topics of such roundtables are something that we want to brainstorm as well. So when we close the webinar here today, you'll see, don't close your browser right away. The webinar will be closed off, but you will see a short survey that just is going to ask you which topics you would find interesting to talk about if you were to join us for such a customer roundtable. So if you have a few minutes after the webinar today, share your ideas. We'd really love to know which are some common topics of interest that you'd love to chat with other ThoughtFarmer customers about. Actually, not even a few minutes. It'll take you 1 minute. It's very short. All right. I think that was my last Grogu in this slide deck. No, it's not. Here's a very last one here. Q&A time. Yeah. Any questions that we can answer for you guys today based on what you saw? We'd love to answer them. I'm just going to open the Q&A portion here. And I think most questions have been answered. I'm just going to take a look here. This is actually a good question from Donna. If you add any pre-existing super admins to another group, right? For example, the IT admin, does it still keep them in the super admin group unless you go back to remove them? And yes, that is correct, right? So if you want to reassign some of your super admins to a lower admin role, not lower, but one with fewer access points, make sure to remove them from the super admin group. If you do want to remove those super admin rights. Otherwise, it's not, you don't actually take the super admin away just by adding them to another role. So that's a good question. Nikki is asking, will this affect notification emails for the system? For example, could IT admins also get notifications of user overage, and or do only super admins or all admins? That is an excellent question. I hadn't thought about that. And I would assume that only super admins would receive the email, but I'm not 100% certain. So I am going to have to follow up on that one, but I'll check with our engineering team and I'll post that question, Nikki, when we share the recording. Make sure that to let you know what happens with that. Patricia asked for which version is this available. So yes, ThoughtFarmer 11. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. ThoughtFarmer 11 has the admin role feature in it. And again, that's a version that's only available for cloud customers. So if you are, Patricia, I'm not 100% sure if you're on the cloud, if Robic's on the cloud or on premise, but we can definitely point you in the right direction if you are on premises and are interested in accessing ThoughtFarmer in the cloud. And then Alina is just asking, just to clarify, only super admins can broadcast unless we have our CSM make some changes. Yes, correct. And you may want to just, Alina, you may just want to check the broadcasts page on your admin panel. I'm actually just going to quickly bring it up here. Broadcast. It's just right here under content. So this is how the permissions are set up, right? So by default, if you've never made any changes, only super administrators will be able to post broadcasts on the site. You can also, though, if you wanted to open that up, you can also open up the functionality, not just to super admins, but to also to certain security groups or certain people. So in our case, we've given on this intranet, everybody in branch banking, which is a security group we've created, can also send out broadcast messages, right? So we don't really have the other admin roles in here as a selection, but you can select certain security groups to give them that access. Excellent. Okay, Patricia, you're on-prem. That is great. We can definitely help you out with any questions that you have about that. All right. Did we answer all the questions? I think we did. Just going to check the chat box to make sure there's no other questions in here. And I don't think so. Great, Savannah is excited to start using the admin groups. That's really great. That's what we were hoping for, right? I mean, this is something that has been in the works for a long time. It's we've definitely heard the feedback around administrators from many of you and for a long time. So we're super excited to finally introduce this in the product and have you guys use it. I think that unless there's any new questions, sorry, I just want to make sure I don't miss any questions, but I don't think so. So with that, I think we can wrap it up for today. We are hoping, we're not hoping, we are planning to do these feature spotlights often in the future whenever we release a new piece of functionality, or even like maybe functionality that's already in the product that that we want to spotlight or talk about a little bit more. So if you have any ideas or requests, please let us know. Again, all the feedback is good feedback. And for this webinar here today, again, we have recorded it. We will send out an email to all of you with a link to the recording. And again, as we turn off the webinar here today, please take a minute to just let us know which topics you would like to discuss in a roundtable fashion. We'd love to hear it, and hopefully we can organize that for you in the future. So that is all of it. That's all of it for us here today at ThoughtFarmer. Thank you so much for joining, guys, and hopefully see you at the next webinar. Thanks, guys. Bye.